Hi everyone, how are you? As you can see, I'm not home, I'm somewhere else. So I've been traveling during this pandemic, but family called and I had to come help, so here I am. But I realized that I didn't do you, Pisces. I didn't do your Osho Zen reading, so my apologies for being so late, but we're going to do this right now. All right, somebody's being very controlling in a situation. It's funny, as I was sitting here, I kept feeling that you got to give a little bit. You got to let go and you got to give a little bit. Right now, I see some disharmony in a relationship. It's a disconnect is what I feel. It's, when this is like the Two of Cups. Okay, so the two of you, I mean, you're trying to get on board with this whole relationship and trying to make it work, but there's something that is pulling you to just go in another direction. So if you've been contemplating whether or not you want to stay in a relationship, I think, you're staying just to keep the peace, but it may not be truly what your heart wants to do, but you're also not leaving either. So let's see what the story is. Well, that's a billion cards flying out. Hold on. Let's see what's going on. Pisces, you have so much happening. Now, a few of you are really happy. But I want to go back to this relationship here. Okay, because I do get the sense that, there's two schools. School of Fish, Pisces. Two schools of Pisces that are going on. And there's a group of Pisces where life is really good. And they're really happy. And then there's the other one where life is not so good. And I just think that if you're sitting on the fence, I mean, you're really contemplating, whether or not you two can ever be happy, So I think for this Pisces, you're wondering, gosh, should I keep going? Should I not? Should I keep going? Am I really happy? But we don't really see eye to eye. We're two different people, or maybe I should close it down. And it's just like you're trying to search for like, what is really going to make you happy in this relationship? Now, somebody's wearing a mask, okay? We have somebody hiding behind their true feelings. And I picked that up at the beginning. It's like you're acting like everything is really, really great, but under the surface, it's not, is it? No. So you put this mask on. Hi, honey. Yeah, it's really good. So I'm not picking this up as like a family. I'm picking it up as like two people. That's four people, but two people. Two people. And it's like you want to be happy in this relationship. You want to make it work. But I almost get the feeling like it's routine. You're not as happy in this relationship as you want to believe. And I think you kind of you're torn about it. You're torn. Because what to do. Because I think it's one of these relationships where it's not bad, but it's not great either. And it's not, because they're a bad person or you don't like them or they get on the nerves. It's just like the love has kind of faded away. So, what are you going to do? See, and you're not really sure whether or not you want to go. It's like you sit on the fence. You're going to go along. You're going to go along. You're going to try to fit in. You're going to try to make things work and just not say anything. I get this very passive Pisces, where, all right, this is it. That's her. That's him. That's my person. But it's not like you're overly affectionate. I just get this like, you two exist together, but you're not in love with each other. You love each other, but you're not in love with each other. And you really question, like, is this it? Like, this is life, now this is how my life is going to be. And, there's just, if there's no chemistry, there's no chemistry. And I think that's where you're at. You guys might have all of the ingredients, you have, probably you have, finances are pretty good and, your life is pretty good and you two get along and you go through the motions and you don't really fight, but you don't really not fight. It's just like there's differences, but it's understood that we have differences. But I think over time, some things start to become more evident. And the fact that the lack of chemistry between the two of you, it's a factor. It's a factor. because somebody comes across your board and you're like, whoa, phenoms, now, you're like a dog in heat going, whoa, like, who's that? There's chemistry. And you don't have that with your person. So a little of that happening to the people in the Pisces camp. See, you're starting to see things a little differently. You got hooked up with this person and life was really pretty good. And I think you thought everything was going to be like, this is going to be this dynamic romance. And that's not what happened, is it? Instead, it became more of a burdensome relationship. So a few of you, I think, are slowing down and trying to see, really, is it over? I mean, we're not vibing. We have no yin yang going on here. So I think a few of you are just kind of going along and really kind of looking at this relationship as like, I don't know if this is how I want my life to be the rest of my life. So big questions for you, Pisces, big questions. And as I said, I don't see you making any moves. I see you kind of just being very introspective before you make any big changes. It's almost like you're not going to upset, the structures of your life to like just move on and away from this person, because as I said, I feel like you love this person. You're just not in love with this person. And there's a lot of pluses to this relationship that could allow you to just keep going with it. But lack of chemistry. I think that's what's starting to eat you up. Where's the passion? Where's all of that? Yeah. So this is about growth. So you have to trust the process. Okay. Sometimes when we are with people, and in this situation, I mean, these are two people that get along. They've got, some kind of life that's building with each other. The lack is chemistry. So is it a lack of chemistry because, you guys have intimacy issues, or, maybe you need to like go and, spice it up a little bit, and see if maybe that's the missing element. Because it's like if you have everything except for the chemistry, and you had it initially, maybe it's just because you guys got into this very routine way of life, where it's like, okay, now we go to bed and we don't have sex, and, we just we wake up and I make coffee and, you make the toast, and that's just how it is. And we sit down, we don't even have a conversation in the morning. We just like go through the motions of life. And this is actually calling for a little bit of spark, like, and if there is no spark, you're sitting there saying, well, maybe this relationship has run its course. See, somebody wants to be free, but again, you're not going to upset the structures of your life. If things are going good, you may just decide to settle with this person, and, and you could be okay with that. I mean, some people don't need to have that kind of intimacy. I think you do, but, this is why you're just kind of sitting back going, well, we'll see what we're going to do. And again, you're not doing anything about this situation. And I think the two of you have this very karmic relationship. It's one of those where you may have done the work in past lives and now you've come back, and, it's almost like a meeting of the minds, to say, hey, we made it. Maybe it's time to go on. Because I do get this sense of like you guys are tying up the end of karmic cycles with each other, and then you can move on. I sure hope this is resonating. Yeah, there's possibilities, okay? I mean, things can happen, things can change. It just depends on whether or not, Pisces, you want to put in any more work into this relationship, or you're just ready to like say, I don't know, maybe not. I mean, it really is just this real like maybe not, I don't know. Very indecisive energy you have, Pisces. Very indecisive. Because it's like you don't know really what you want to do. It's like, well, things are good. I think you got to really look deep inside. Because your conscience is talking to you. This is why it's bothering you. This is why it's coming up in this reading. It's just like, gosh, I like them enough, but I don't know. So maybe you need to have a sit-down conversation with your person and see if maybe they feel the same way. And sometimes when you sit down with another person, I mean, we're not mind readers. We really aren't. You know, we might be able to like tune into our psychic intuition and things like that, but we're not mind readers. You know, we can't sit here and say, what are you doing? You know, so maybe if you have a conversation and say, you know, are you bored with our relationship? Do you think we have to spice it up? Is it possible? Just a heart to heart with your person. You might be surprised. They're probably feeling the same way. And at that point, then growth happens. And now it's like, well, let's see if we can spice it up. Let's go do something like really crazy. You know, go skinny dipping in the ocean or something, you know, something really wild and crazy. A Pisces would do that, you know. So anyway, yeah, that's what I've got for you. Yeah, new beginnings. All right, let's see if we've got any advice. Yeah, again, you know, this relationship, you're just not sure whether it has long-term possibilities. You know, you're not making any moves, though. You're not about to go. And I saw that earlier. But again, you're also not, you've lost the passion. I'm sorry to say. I mean, I seems like I'm always the bearer of bad news, but I feel like you've lost the passion. And you're not really sure what to do. You know, so to just go along, it's funny, I get this energy of like somebody just sitting in a living room watching TV. And, you know, no conversation. I just don't get a lot of conversations going on between you and your person. It's just, you're over here, they're over here, and you guys are just existing, you know? And I'm like, God, you know, I can't even find the energy to lift you guys up in this reading, you know, because you are just really, you know, indecisive. It's like you're not going to make any moves. I almost feel like you're waiting for them to make a decision. And whatever decision they make, you're going to go along with it, whether you like it or not. Just, they made the decision. So now that's off of you. So there's something up with you, Pisces. Yeah, this is very toxic, this kind of energy. And I think that's why it keeps coming up. There's something that's just not healthy about it. And you're ready to go. I think you're really ready to go. But again, you're not going to make the first move to do that. You're not. You're going to leave that up to the other person. So, if I were you, I'd have a heart-to-heart and just kind of say, I don't know what's going on. I'm just really bored. You know, to be bored is okay. We all get bored. You know, relationships take work. And yours is no exception. And yours right now is wanting some work to be done to it. Because the two of you just going through the motions, it isn't getting you anywhere. It's almost as if you're on a stationary bike with each other. You know what I mean? So that's what I've got for you, Pisces. I hope this resonated. If it did, that's great. If it didn't, that's okay. I'm going to try to get some more readings in while I'm here on the East Coast. And yeah, that's what I've got. All right, so take what works and leave what doesn't. Messages are for whoever needed to hear it. And sometimes we've got to open up and let someone else get the message. All right, so until the next reading, thumbs up for me, like, comment, share, all that good stuff, and I'll see you at the next one. All right, bye now.